Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to part 3, putting the Mazda back on the road. Right, so where we last left it, we took the old pump off. I've stuck it back on the car temporarily, only with one bolt, just to keep it safe. Basically, you can see it from there. I left a question on part 2, which was recorded on Friday. Should I go with a cheaper, which may not be the right one, or should I get the correct one? The cheap one was £45, I think it was. It's for a Mazda 2012 to 2015 Mazda 6. My vehicle is a Mazda 5 2008, both 2-litre diesels. Now, when I looked at the pictures, they looked exactly the same, apart from where the pipes fit. Might have to retap a hole, but we shall see. Anyhow, not one solitary person answered the question, so I'm not going to pose questions anymore. You lot obviously don't like doing that. Anyhow, I put an offer in. It was 45 quid on eBay. Put an offer in on the Sunday afternoon, £38. They got in on Monday and accepted it. Sent it out. Supposed to be 48-hour parcel force. They sent it out 24-hour parcel force, all included in the price, and it came the next day, so it arrived Tuesday. Well, Tuesday was hammering down a rain all day, but apparently we've got nice weather now on for the next 3-4 days. It's going to be a nice day. It's supposed to be sunny today, but it's a bit cloudy and overcast, but it's not cold. But anyhow, here's the box. I haven't opened it yet. All I've done is taken my address off, because I don't want you lot knowing where I live. You might come round and complain about my videos. So we're going to try and get in it, which one-handed when you're holding a camera isn't the easiest of things to do, but we'll struggle by. Let's see what their packing's like. Oh, we've got shredded cardboard. What's it? Oh, there she is. She's sitting there, look, on the label. Right, the company that sent it out was a company called Redcorn Limited in London. Like I said, this one was 38 quid. Looked in fairly good condition. The correct one for my car was from a company in Oldham, I think. They wanted 75 quid for it. Purely because parts for Mazda 5s are very hard to come by, because people just don't scrap them. And it was a bit crusty looking, and it looked like it had a small amount of damage on it. So I opted for this one. Quite a considerable saving. Christ, that's right. And there she is. Right, I don't want to put it that way up, because if there's any oil in, it's going to leak out. Looks like there's a bit of oil left in there. Right, they've got their marks on it. But we shall get the old one off, and we shall see if it's the same. Right, the first thing I want to check is the magnetic clutch. Make sure it's got the same amount of ribs and it's the same diameter. Like I said, it's not a big if I've got to change it. I've got a brand new one sat in a box upstairs. But we'll get the old one out and just see if it kind of looks the same. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Right, well, it's exactly the same width. I shall count the teeth in a minute, but they look the same to me. They pretty much look identical. Yeah, they all line up. I'm looking up. That's identical. This one is very slightly... Is it slightly narrower? Could possibly be very slightly narrower. This piece here isn't as thick. That looks thicker. What that would actually do to it on the car, I don't know. I suppose it could push, this one could be slightly further back, could be about there on the car. Whether that's going to make any difference and the belt would come off with it, I don't know. But like I said, we've got a spare one of these. So I shall probably just leave that on and see what happens. Will it stand up that way? It will if I put it back in the box. And we can check the diameter and see if that's the same. Yeah, again, my one is, no it's not. Yeah, my one is very, very slightly bigger. Ever so slightly. But again, bent with a belt tensioner, I don't think that's going to make a great deal of difference. I think that'll work. So, what we'll do now, we'll get the other one off, and we'll stick them side by side, and we'll see if it is the same. Obviously I'm hoping so, but we won't know until we actually get it out. Okay, so here's the old one, here's the new one, and at first glance that one looks smaller, but you gotta remember it hasn't got that on it. So first things first, this top connection goes there, it goes there, exactly the same. Looks good to me. Nuts and bolts in the same place there and there. This one, bolt is there, threaded bolt hole there. So those connections are going to fit exactly the same without any problem. I mean, when I take these ones off, I can check them on the old one anyway and see if they fit, and then we'll know for definite then that they are the same. But at the moment, looks the same. So check the holes, see if they kind of line up that way a little bit. There we go. So it needs to go that way a tiny bit more. There we go. Bit difficult to be 100% precise, but they certainly line up that way. And they appear to line up that way. So I would say that apart from the magnetic clutch there, which is very slightly thicker this way, so it's very slightly more that way, and we're only talking a millimetre, they're identical. And like I said, I will fit this. If the belt falls off or it makes a squealing noise or something, not a biggie to change that. I've got a new one, brand new one sat in the box, which you would have seen in the first video. I'll change it. That's a shame they cut that one off, because that's the one I cut off as well. Damn, it means I'll have to reconnect the wires, but not a massive problem. Anyhow, we'll stick this back in the box and we'll give it a quick clean up with some brake cleaner, because I don't want to keep getting all crusty, although I'll have gloves on. We'll give it a quick clean up. It's always nice to clean stuff up a little bit. We'll give it a quick brush over, and we'll start refitting it. Oakley dokley, we'll give her a quick clean up with some brake cleaner, utilising the box that it came in. Yep, of course it stinks. Well, what do I do with the brush? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Well, you've got to be quick with this stuff, it evaporates fast. Give it another quick squirt off. Turn him round. Give this side a go. You haven't got to do this. This is just me. I like things to be clean. There's absolutely no reason to do this whatsoever. This is just me indulging my hatred of greasy, grotty, crusty parts. It's going to make it, well, it's not going to do anything, to be honest. Like I said, this is just purely for me. None should have gone inside it with the cap on. Oh, that's the next point. I'm not going to worry about topping the thing up with oil. The way I look at it, I'm going to tip any oil out of that one that's still into this one. Yeah, engineers, mechanics, they need to look away, they'd all cringe, but I need to cut that off. Like I said, I don't care. I don't really care if the aircon works, to be honest. I just want to get the car running, and hopefully this will do that, because the first stage is getting the belt to stay on. There we go. Right, we'll leave that for 10 minutes to dry, although it's not going to take that long. That's made that look a bit better. They could all just be in my head. Probably looks exactly the same, but it makes me feel better. I think it looks better. So like I said, we'll leave that to dry. Oh, is that knife still there, or did I take it back? Looks like I took the knife back. I need to cut that off. Anyhow, like I said, we'll leave that for 5 minutes to dry, and then we'll see if we can get it back on the car. Right, so taking the old pipes off, as you can see, here's the screws that hold them in. Because I'm too mean to buy oil, there was oil still in this one, and there was oil in the old one. So to account for any of it stripped out of the pipes and I've lost, I tipped some out of this one into that one there. And you can see I've missed a bit, so I've just got to wipe that off with a bit of tissue. Got my glove on this time after the last time, getting this stuff on my fingers. I mean, I don't know if it's an irritant, but it irritated me, so we'll just dab the worst of that up. Right, a little bit of concerning info. When I took these off, they're very, very tight in here. I mean, they've got to be, there's a seal in there. But when I've tried to put them onto my old one to see if they're the same, I cannot get these in. They're really, really tight. So I'm unsure whether these are actually slightly bigger. The holes in this one are slightly bigger than this one. And I've got no way of checking. I've got nothing to measure the diameter with. Like I said, limited tools, so I'm not an engineer. See, they fit in that one. This is probably the one off that one then. Where's the other one gone? Now see, they click in there quite easy, look. But when I try to get this in my old one, there's just no way of getting that in. It's metal on metal, you can feel it. So I've got a feeling that the holes in this one are very slightly larger diameter than off my car. Now it's not going to be an issue for me fixing my pipes to it, because obviously this is a larger hole, so my pipes are going to go in there. The concern is that they're not going to seal, because this being a bigger diameter, the rubber seal's not going to make a good enough contact. But yeah, I just want to get the car running at this point. If I can have the aircon, all well and good. If I don't have the aircon, that's just as good. I just need to get the car running and back on the road, which is the whole purpose of all what I'm doing. I just want to get the car back on the road. It's winter at the moment. We'll worry about the aircon in the summer if I can't fix it. As long as I get the belt on and that thing going round, I'll be happy. Excuse me. Right, we'll get that on the car and we'll start, well, I might as well show you. I've got to keep it this way up for the minute, because if I tip that, Oh, that's a point. Which way up does it go on the car now? I can't remember. Ah. That's a problem. Right, I think what we'll do, we'll get the old one back over and we'll see which way round it goes. Whether it goes that way or the other way round. We must go that way round. It goes that way round. Must go that way round, surely. Let's have a look. This is the old one, remember. Yeah, it goes that way round. Of course it does. You couldn't get at the pipes otherwise, could you? So it's got to go that way round. Right, so we'll leave him sat there like that as a guide so that I can see him. And we'll get the other one. And he's got to go on the same way. Ugh. I've got a glove on this hand in case you haven't noticed. Oh, right. Now, how have I got this? Like that. So I've got to tip it like that. Right, that's the way it goes. Don't know what these connections are. That one's still joined. I took my one off. So I need to... I don't know if that's the other end of that one or what it is. And there's another connection on mine, goes up to the top. I presume that's that one. They must have just tucked that in there. Well, that's weird. Anyway, we can unplug that and plug it into mine anyway. That's the one that goes from the magnetic clutch. And that's the one that goes up into the wiring loom somewhere. So I'm not in camera. It goes up to the wiring loom. Well, I can easily join that together with something. That's the one from the magnetic clutch, which I just chopped off under mine as well, but I can reconnect it. We'll figure it out. Anyway, main thing is get the damn thing on first. So stick it up in place, stick a bolt in, and then we'll see about putting the pipes on and see whether they leak or not. Well, we're not going to know that until we start it up, are we? But let's first things first, let's just get it on. Okay, I'll put one bolt in. We'll try and get another one in. They're not the easiest to line up, especially while trying to hold a camera. No, that one don't want to go through. Try that one. Yeah, these are one of those I'm going to need two hands. So you're not going to see me put that in unless it's this one. I mean, I don't think they're different, but we'll check. No, that's not going through either. But I've got one anyway to hold it in place. I can easily muck about with it, but I'm going to need two hands to do that. So, sorry guys, but you're not going to see me try and put them on. Right, well the bottom two bolts are in. They're nipped up, they're not tight, they're just sort of like, I put them in with a drill with a bit on. Because if you saw part 2, you'll know that none of my sockets, they're 12mm, but none of my sockets fit them for some reason. They're all, just seem slightly too small. Whereas for 12mm socket that goes on the drill, whatever I've done with that now, I've lost it. I'll drop that somewhere, never mind. Anyhow, it done up with those quite easy. The top two, I've done them as tight as I can do them by hand, and as you can see there's a fair bit of thread to go there. I've got the arduous task now of using a spanner, because it's the only thing I can get on there. I meant to order a ratchet spanner and I forgot. Oh, that's the 12mm socket that goes on the drill bit there, right in front of me. Yeah, I meant to order a ratchet spanner, but yeah, forgot. So now I've got the arduous task of tying it up with a spanner. And now I'm wondering whether I should have actually put the pipes on first before I put these through bolts on. But yeah, it should be okay, because like I said, the ones on this one are slightly bigger than the one that I took off, so they should go in easy. He says, and he hopes. Anyhow, we're making progress, I think. Right, so I've done up the bolts now, all the through bolts, as tight as I can do them by hand. Christ. Just give them a final nip up. That one's tight. They were done with a drill, those two. These top ones were done by hand, so these are going to need a bit of tightening. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to go and get my glasses. I can't see what I'm doing. There's tightening. Doing it by feel. Isn't it terrible? Old age don't come kindly, I tell you guys. If you're in your 30s still, or even your 40s, enjoy it, because things start going downhill quicker, let me tell you. There's that one. Things that you take for granted, that you used to do, you can't do anymore. I'm getting oil on my fingers and I haven't got a glove on. Damn it. Try it from there, that's better. Am I on it? I can't tell whether I'm on it or not, I think so. Yeah, that's on now, I can feel resistance. I'm going to have to put a glove on to do the next bit. Right, that's them done up tight. So the next bit is put the pipes on. Yeah, not looking for it. They should go in easy, like I said. The ones on this one are obviously a bigger diameter, or they're just a very tight fit. But we'll find out in a sec. Right folks, promise I haven't tried it. All I've done is taken the screw out. So, put the screw in, bring this over, and it goes there somewhere. Now, not being able to see this, you've got to do the whole thing by feel. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not going to make a seal, it fell in there. If you can see that, it's literally fallen in there. So, yeah, we're not going to have an air con with these pipes. I mean, I'll tighten them up, and we can hope. But, I don't even know if you can see that up there. I have no idea. Like I said, the screen on this camera isn't the best. But we'll nip him up. Oh, God. As you can see, that's wobbling about like hell. It might not be in there properly for all I know. It's not. It's not even gripping that screw. Oh dear. Now it is, I've done it by hand. Oh, and it's tightening up. Okay. We'll tighten him up as far as we can go by hand. Christ, it's going in a long way. That's not gripping, that's why. Oh, that's weird. Have I mixed the screws up? And this one ain't long enough. What's that not going in? Hang on, let's have a look from the side. Oh, this is a job. It's a lesson in patience doing this. I don't know if that's in there or not. I know the screw's not reaching. I'm going to have to use the longer screw. I must have mixed the screws up. Don't see how I would have done that, but I must have done. But I've got one of the old screws here, actually. But I took out the other one. This is the longer screw. So we'll try that. I'm going to have to pause the camera. Hands again. Well, I've encountered a problem. I cannot get that screw to catch, the short screw. I put the long screw in, tightened it down, and I went, that took easy. Tightened it down, run out of thread before it actually tightened that, whatever you call it, onto the unit. So basically I'm just going to keep mucking around with it and see if I can get the threads to catch. If I can't, fortunately, like I said, I've got the two spare bolts out the old one. So what I can do is put a nut on the longer one to make it shorter but still longer than the short one, if you understand what I mean. If I get the two old ones, hang on, I'll show you what I mean if you don't understand. I know my logic isn't the same as everyone else's, but you see the difference in length there. If I put a nut on it and tighten it up to there, so it's just a couple of mil longer, I reckon I'll get away with using the longer one. But that's if I can't get that to actually take, which at the moment I can't. It feels like it has, and then you do a couple of turns and it pops back out. Unless the end of the screw's threaded, of course, which it shouldn't be. But you never can tell with these things. But we'll keep on worrying. I've stopped for a minute, have a fag, because my back's hurting and my fingers are aching and I've got cramp in my feet and God knows what else. So we're just having a sit down for 2 seconds and then we'll start again. Turn the torch off, don't need that. Right. Doesn't matter how hard I try, I cannot get that screw to take. It's just not quite long enough for some weird and wonderful reason. I don't understand why. It was the one that was fitted, and the one off mine is exactly the same length. So it's obviously me. But anyhow, that's for one off the other side, which is longer. I'm going to put a nut on it. So we've got that little bit much more, and I'm hoping it will tighten up that far. Otherwise I'm going to have to go and find some washers to fill the gap up with if it don't. Of course, if I have the same problem the other side, I've got a problem. Because box of nuts in the house I've got, I don't have a box of bolts. So I shall be rummaging around all my old toolboxes to see if I can find one. I don't even know what size that is. I would say it's probably 4mm or 5mm, but anybody know? 10mm nut, what size is that? Could be 6mm. If I remember rightly, it's 6mm, isn't it? 10mm nut head is 6mm. But anyway, we shall try that and see if that works. Well, I'm pleased to say that worked. If I put the torch up there, you can see it hopefully. Take the torch off, put the torch on. Hopefully you can see that. And that is now tight. Hopefully you can see that. Will it seal? Will it act? That's going to leak like a stuck pig. But like I said, oh crikey, in the summer, if I need the aircon, I can always get some instant gasket or something, undo them, run some gasket seed around them, tighten them back up. I'm sure that'll hold. But anyway, we're going to try the other one now. Like I said, if I can't get this one to take, I'm in trouble, because box of nuts I've got in the house, box of bolts I haven't. Right, well, through persistence and stubbornness and not knowing when to quit, they are both on. It's all bolted up, because I know for a fact that they are going to leak. I'm not even going to bother wiring it up. Those wires can just be left dangling and chopped off. It's a job for the summer, because like I said, if I decide that it's a particularly hot summer and I want the aircon and it's not so bad working in the summer, let's be honest, it's a lot nicer, I shall take those connectors off, get a bit of gasket sealer, put round them. If I can find a rubber washer, put one of them over it as well. A new O-ring's not going to make any difference. because like I said, they're the wrong size. And I'm not going to try and change the ends, because if you buy those and the rubber pipe all comes as one, and I'd have to get them for a Mazda 6, which are routed the wrong way to go on a Mazda 5, so it wouldn't work. So the only option I've got is to seal them up myself. And like I said, a bit of it's only oil in there. It's not very corrosive, I don't think. A bit of gasket sealer is going to do the job. Bit of red gasket sealer or something, or blue. I'm sure something could seal them up. And like I said, if you stuck a rubber washer over as well, you're double doing it. So, next job, I've got to put the belt back on. Now, I have real trouble doing these. I don't know why, I just do. But this is the tensioner. You put a spanner on that. Well, it might be that one actually, I can't remember now which one it is. No, it's definitely that one. You put a spanner on it or a ratchet on it, big long arm, and you just lever it and it moves up out the way. I've got to remember how the belt routes now as well. I think it goes, yeah, it goes up over that one, then over the big one, and then you've got to lever that up out the way to get it, the actual belt to go. Yeah, I know what I mean. You don't understand what I mean, but I know what I mean. But we'll find something that fits that, and I'll show you it moved in a sec. Right, it's the top one, not the bottom one. How do I remember that? Because you can't get a ratchet on it. It's a 14mm, and you've got to use a spanner, because if you try to use a ratchet, this pipe's in the way. You can't get in there with it. You can't even put a 3/8 or something in it, because it's a hell of a lot of tension. So you've got to use a spanner and you've got to use a bar, and it's really not the easiest of things to do on this car. If this, whatever this is, wasn't in the way, it'd be a piece of piss. I mean, I suppose the smart thing to do would be to undo that bracket there and move them, but these are metal, they're not rubber. I mean, that one's rubber, but this one's metal, it's fixed. So you're not going to move it out of the way without disconnecting it, and it's a whole lot of unnecessary work just to put a belt back on. So we're going to struggle, see if I can get the bar off the ratchet, because I hammered it on there, so I'm going to have to hammer it off. And then put the spanner on, and we'll go from there. Oh, and I just realised I had my finger over the mic, so you probably never heard none of that. So we'll repeat it anyway. You can't put a ratchet on there, there's not enough space, so you have to do it with a spanner on the bar, and I've wedged the bar on the ratchet, so I'm going to have to unwedge it. Not sure how, but I'll find a way. Right, I can't possibly do this and hold the camera. In fact, it's a struggle to do it with two hands, but we've got to do it. I've done it before, I can do it again. But that's pretty much how the belt routes, like that. And then this part has to go over the aircon wheel, like so. And it moves. I've put it on there just to show you. See how it moves? Now I've got to take that right up to make that big enough for that to go around the aircon wheel. So we're going to try and do it. Wish me luck. Comments below if you think I manage it or not. So, if you had confidence in me and believed that I could do it, you were wrong. I can't get that belt back on. I've tried and tried. It's instant for you. I've been here about half hour messing with it. Do you know the real annoying part is that I've actually done it once. I just can't remember how I did it. So, let's go knock on the neighbour's door, see if he's in, because he can do it straight away. I just... It baffles me. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong and why I can't do it. I mean, I can move the wheel easy enough. I'll get it right up in the air, but I just can't seem to get that belt to go on properly. I don't know for why. I can't get it round this bit. Who knows why? But I'll go and knock his door, see if he's in. Well, my friendly neighbour's not available at the moment. He's at work, and he's not due home for another hour and a half. By which time it will be dark, as the joys of working on cars in the winter. And here comes the ice cream man. Oh, he's going the other way. So yeah, he's hopeful as well. It's not exactly warm out here. I shall probably just struggle on, see if I can worry it on myself somehow. I'm doing something wrong, I don't know what. I bet there's mechanics having a good old laugh at me. But keep saying my disclaimer, I'm not a mechanic, not a technician, not an engineer. I'm just some bloke trying to fix his car and he hasn't got a clue what he's doing. All I know is what I've seen on YouTube and what sort of makes sense and what doesn't make sense. But we'll keep on struggling. I've got nothing better to do for the next hour, because it's not really fair for him to have to come down and do this after he's been at work all day. But he can put it on, literally, he just goes and it's on. He does it that quick. He literally does it in under 10 seconds. Me, I've been struggling with it for nearly an hour. But yeah, we'll see. I might get it on, you never know. I might figure it out. If not, I'm stuck until he comes home. Morning guys, welcome to day 2. And friendly neighbour has arrived. And he's going to put the belt on for me because I can't bloody do it. And he won't be able to do it now because I'm videoing him. Haha. How have you got all that much slack? I didn't get that much slack when I done it.
Yeah, might be a little bit wrong. That's it. Oh, you've got a spanner for it.
Yeah, you can't get it. It's in the. It's probably in there.
Not really, is it?
Make sure you get that pipe the right way round so it's not on the split.
Yeah.
It won't go in that end, I don't think. Oh, look at that.
And he's on. No, he's not. Here we go. Ready.
There you are, boys and girls, easy as that. Only took me like 3 hours, I've been trying to do that.
Friends.
Okay, now that the belt's on, we'll see if we can start the old girl. She's always been a good starter. Hopefully she'll go. Steal a pun from Matt, Diesel Creek. Contact. And we got a flat battery. Battery is dead. That's not going to go. It weren't jumping off, no. Right, we'll go and get a battery charger. Yep, go and have a shower, John.
There you go, son.
We'll stick the battery charger on it for an hour.
There's your 2 balls.
I could probably start it with a booster function, but
yeah, just make sure.
I'd rather charge it up. Battery's probably knackered now anyway. Well, it's been out here in all this cold weather, I'm not surprised. Right, so for anybody who's not sure, this is the routing for a Mazda 5 2 litre 2008 model for the drive belt. Well, the auxiliary belt, turpentine belt, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, that's the engine, comes off there, goes over a roller there, goes around the aircon that way, goes up to the alternator that's up there, over the alternator down, under the tensioner, and then back round the engine. Simple as that. There isn't a video of this anywhere on YouTube that I could find, so now there is. So one more time, just so you know, this is your tensioner. You put a spanner on it there, and it levers that way, lifting it that way. Comes off the engine here, over that roller, around the aircon pump, goes up to the alternator, over the alternator, back down, and around the tensioner, back to the engine. And it's as simple as that. Right guys, well it's been on charge now for nearly 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Charger is showing 82%. It should be enough to start it, but where it's been sat for a few months and it was locked into a regen mode kind thing, so it's chucking out loads of diesel, all that diesel's going to have congealed in the DPF, so we're going to have real issues trying to start it. So to help, nicely charged up battery there and a set of jump leads which I shall also connect up, and hopefully she'll go. But the last few attempts I've tried off camera, I've tried starting it, no joy. So fingers crossed. Right, fingers crossed, this is about the 5th attempt now. I'll turn it on, let the glow plugs heat up. Wait for all the lights to go off. Turn it off, turn it on again. Let the lights go off and we'll give it a go. Contact. Nah, it's not having it, is it? Oh, hang on. Nearly. She thought about it. Give her another go. She went for a second there. Nah, nearly, so close, but no dice. Try again in a half hour.